crack of dawn, Monday morning coffee, strong pouring everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. You're a power stroke, diesel backhoe riding king, 18-wheeler driving, living life in between the lines of clocking in and quitting time. But then the six-string circus comes to town. We hang them speakers over the crowd. When the lights come on, everybody screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody singing every word to every song of the girl they're taking tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're having, the smoke that we're having, the party we throw, it's going all night long. When the lights come on, when the lights come on, you're a little shy thing with a wild side on a night like this. You just can't hide, cause it's time to live it up. So come on and raise your cup. If we talk about memories, yeah, we're gonna make them. Talking about rules, you know we're gonna break them. When the lights come on, everybody screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody singing every word to every song of the girl they're taking tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're having, the smoke that we're having, the party we throw, it's going all night long. When the lights come on, when the lights come on. Yeah, we all the same cause we think it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. When a team already has a playoff spot in their back pocket, it can be easy to lose focus and ease up late in the regular season. But not losing momentum going into the playoffs is also important, so they just can't mail it in here. It's the Saints going up against the Steelers. The towels are out, but it's set to be a cold one at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. That's where we'll say hello to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, despite the elements, these fans here in western Pennsylvania, they wouldn't dream of missing this one as you get a look inside snowy Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Second down to the offense needing 5 yards.
Let's go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago.
And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise.
They'll go with a keeper. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Cameron Jordan is now one of those versatile defensive linemen as you can play all up and down the front. Whether he's playing tackle or end, he knows how to make plays.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Now back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the seemingly endless drive continues.
No, check, Patriot. All right, here we go.
So 2nd and goal here from the 9. They'll try and run with their fullback. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. On play action, they'll throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10, here's Breeze. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out. Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
They'll come out in the pistol, and they'll run it here. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, you know how we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan? That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people hear 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Under pressure, he's going to go down. Look at this, way back around the 43. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
This is taken around the 12. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. but you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back to Heinz Field after this. Breeze now on first down. It's a gain of 15 that time. And that leads to a New Orleans first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Breeze now on first down. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Breeze will try again on 2nd down. Throwing left side, it's complete. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result. They'll run it now out of the gun.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. That is caught inside the 5. A good pickup there, a 22. And let's not take for granted, in these conditions, that's never an easy pass and catch.
You really got to find a way to drive the ball. You know, get your grip. You know, that's why we see some of the guys now, they put the gloves on when they throw the ball in this type of a condition. Sometimes the glove might make it too slippery. So you got to figure out what's going to work for you. But how about the receivers? Looking back and trying to locate the ball coming through snow and making sure they have full concentration.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll drop to throw.
Pardon me, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got time. He's going to go for a big... The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And the defense definitely showing blitz here. Now Breeze throwing on second down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give him a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Breeze going to try and throw on 3rd. He rifles one that's intercepted. Dashing through the snow. He's at the 30, 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
but they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now Breeze. And left side here, it's Graham. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And he's got his man on the out route. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go. Ready? You ready? Easy. Ready? You ready? One day. Switch. Ready? 5-9.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. 11 yards on the pickup, and the Saints are going to get a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play. But it didn't gain him any yardage.
Breeze now toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Second down following the run.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Breeze. This will be caught just inside the 10. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open area.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And they're going to speed things up here. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
No. Check. Patriot.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It's their quarterback. Ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. In the slot on the right is Graham. Now Breeze on third down. And that is incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed. Gone. Let it go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Shipped together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for Pittsburgh, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll drop to 10-4 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.
Hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form. Doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong.